Well, obviously you saw him triple or run into the first baseman. We were more worried about his wrist until he came back into the bag after one of the pitches, and Tom got a hold of us and said his knee was bothering him. So I watched him run the second, and obviously he didn't run very good. So went out and checked him, and he said his knee was hurting. So we won't know anything until tomorrow.
With this, I mean, it sounds like this is going to be something very similar to what you were talking about with Neal and Cespedes. Do you feel like these three are going to be just daily, almost checkups?
Yeah, they are. There's no doubt. Just as we have done in the past, we'll have to continue to monitor how they feel each day. I get the day games after night games are a little tougher for some things. But I talked to AC this morning. He said he felt great, and unfortunately, he ran into the first baseman. So we'll get him back in there tomorrow night, and hopefully AC's in there tomorrow night. I don't know what his status will be.
Is there an issue at all with that forearm or wrist?
No, that I know of yet. I mean, I'm more worried about the knee than anything else.
Ken?
Terry, do you know if Cabrera's going to get testing at all?
I don't know. I don't know yet. Again, I don't think it's anything that's any different than the two tests he's had before. We know that there's an issue with the patella tendon. That's why I say we won't know until he probably, once he comes out of the game and the adrenaline's kind of kicked in it, and then he got ice on it right away. He felt better. Ray came in. He said, "Hey, look, he actually feels pretty good," which is how he felt the other day. He ended up missing 2 weeks, so we won't know until tomorrow.
And is Matt's good for Wednesday?
I think, Ken, what we're going to do is he was fine today. Dan and I talked. We think he should probably throw one more pin, and we'll probably throw him Thursday.
Dave?
It's a question you kind of get asked a lot, Terry. Like, how many injuries is too much to fight back from? Do you feel like you're going to get an answer to that at some point, the way things are going?
We're not. I mean, again, you just got to keep fighting. You just got to keep, trying to get guys rested, keep them as healthy as you can, and run. If they can't go, run somebody else out there, and you hope that they come through for you when you need them. But, with the way all of a sudden we've played here in the last 4 or 5 days, it took a little air out of the balloon in that first inning tonight.
And just with Gsellman today, Terry, was it a case where, he was going pretty well going to the inning? How well do you know him? You haven't seen a ton of him, or is it just a case where you're just going to have faith in a guy who's pitched pretty well to get to that point?
We know he's certainly capable of throwing 100, 110 pitches. He's done it in the minor leagues all year. The only time he hadn't started was last week, so we weren't concerned there. I said exactly what you did. I said he's cruising along. Made some pitches and get some ground balls, and pretty low pitch count. He threw 75 the other day in St. Louis in tough conditions, and I thought today he was 82, 83, and I thought he was cruising pretty good. So I told Dan we can get 95 to 100. We'll be in good shape, and unfortunately gave up the 3 hits.
Zach?
Terry, Bruce's first at bat, he gets a hit, and then the next 3 he struck out. Are you kind of perplexed at just what's going on with him?
Yeah, Zach, we are. I mean, there's no question. Again, this is a very similar thing. We don't know a lot about him, except playing against him, and we know he's very dangerous, very dangerous. Always has been. Now, I know that both Kevin and Pat have researched his at-bats and going over the last few years to try to pick up something. They've picked up one small thing that's so minor that really isn't even worth talking about. It's just, like I told him the other day, you got to go up with a plan and search, look for a certain location and try to put a good swing on it. And you can't will the results. You can only will the process. And you saw it tonight in his last at bat. I thought, when first ball was down, I thought it might have been down. And he's trying to do too much. He's just, he's really put a lot of heat on himself. So we've got to get him to somehow calm down.
Last one, Lloyd.
Hi, Terry. Just kind of following up on Zach's question. Jay Bruce has been with one organization for so long. Do you think it's a case of being the new kid in school that when you get used to one organization, suppose somebody who moves around quite a bit, that could make a difference here in getting comfortable?
Well, that's very possible. I'm certainly, everybody's asked questions about him. I mean, they're legitimate. is he uncomfortable? Probably. You know, uncomfortable surroundings, playing in a new ballpark a lot. It's we all know it's not Cincinnati. So, and you know, I think again he wants to help so much. I think he's just adding a little extra heat on himself. But you know, we got him for a reason, and we've got to somehow get him to settle in and do some damage for us, because that's certainly a big spot. Is, you know, when you don't have Cess and you're not getting, you know, there's spots in your outfield, you need some production, and he's in one of those spots.